what's up everybody? Brooke here. I hope wherever you are in the world today is treating you well. So it's been a little while since I've uploaded a video and I'm sitting down right now, I'm going through my planner and I got another comment about asking me where I was. So I wanted to just pop on here real quick, do a check-in video, and yeah, I love making videos. I love making videos. It's just, I get lost in like the haze of the chaos of the day-to-day, you know, minutia, work schedule, kid life, all that. That it's just like I'll have the best intentions and it's just difficult for me to stick to a schedule, even though it's still something that I'd love to do. I really enjoy making different videos, different reviews, all that. So who knows? Let's see. Let me try with this video and see where it takes us to a more consistent schedule. So I'm just going to let you guys know my hair is insane. It's really, really crazy. I thought I was gonna look cute, but it didn't. I got off of work a little while ago. I didn't take a shower yet. I am going to do that tonight because I'm gonna do the whole face mask, all that fun stuff. But I wanted this video to be about not as much as my ramblings. Unfortunately, I think I have ADHD. I just kind of like go all over the place, and I have a couple of siblings that have it actually. So they have like diagnosed ADHD. So anyway, without further ado, I want to jump in to this video. I'm already jumped in. Okay, I'm sorry. Start over. End close. End close. All right, so I'm going to talk about time. Time, you hear it all the time. Time. But time goes so fast, right? It seems like my 20s went like this. Like, we're like, hello? Like, can we circle back to my 20s quick? You know, like the 20s went so fast. And I've been really thinking about time lately because I had a couple milestones in August, to tail end of August. My husband and I, we celebrated 15 years married on August 23rd. I've been with him for 18 years. So my entire adult life. And then my oldest daughter, she turned 16 on the 31st of August. And it's crazy because I'm looking at like pictures of my daughter when she was little. I'm looking at pictures of, you know, my husband and I when we were, you know, freshly married. Didn't make any sense. But anyway, it sounded good in my head. And then I just, you know. But I'm looking at pictures and I'm just thinking, I'm like, it feels like I just took those yesterday. You know, I can almost remember exactly what I was thinking. I can remember everything. I can remember what I was going through. Especially like just emotionally. My father had passed away when I was pregnant with my daughter Autumn. And, you know, the fact that she's 16, it's like I was 6 months pregnant and he passed away in May. And then she was born the end of August, August 31st, like I mentioned. And it's a reminder, right, of how long time goes by. And there's like it's like a bridge, it's like an overlap between the life that I had with my dad, you know, like being close with my dad and never feeling like I ever spent enough time with him, regretting it for a long time. But, you know, he was sick for years, but it's that life that I had with him and the relationship and the jokes and just the memories. And then it's my daughter being born, and just having like this whole other person that I'm taking care of. But she never met her grandpa, who she would have been very close with had he been alive to see her. But it's crazy because it's like a bitter reminder of time and how, what's the word? It's unforgiving, right? It goes at the consistent pace that it goes, and that's it. And you can never go back into time. You can never live in the past. A lot of people do, and I talk to a lot of people every day. Every single day I talk to different people. I talk to a lot of older people, and they're always talking about the past. And, you know, it's one thing to talk about stories and, you know, shenanigans that you've gotten involved with, but it seems like there's a lot of people that wish they could redo things in their life. And time is just, it's bitterly cold, right? It does not stop for anybody. I remember I read something a long time ago about how, you know, ask the richest man in the world, or if you ask like a very wealthy man, it was something to that effect. What's the one thing that they would spend all their money on? And it would be to go back to being 30 for a day. You know what I mean? Like, because just to live in the vitality of being a young person and going through things that you now remember 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years later, it's a different experience when you realize how fast time goes, you know? I remember my wedding day. I was thinking like, don't, my daughter Autumn, she was crying, she was a week away from being one. And I remember thinking oh, I feel so bad. Like I'm trying to cater to her, but I also have all these guests and I'm newly married. I have my family. And I kept telling myself, I'm like, Brooke, this is going to go very fast. Enjoy it, enjoy it, enjoy it. And, yeah, it's just crazy. But another thing that I wanted to talk about with time is that, they do say time heals all wounds. And of course that's true. There was a period in my life where I couldn't talk about my dad without crying. Could not. And, it got really bad when my youngest daughter was born, because I went into labor on my dad's anniversary, and then I had her the next day on the May 15th, and that was on my grandfather's anniversary. So I was always in this state of anxiety, is that a bad omen, whatever, right? But anyway, as time goes on, 16 years, you learn it still hurts, depending on the day. My daughter has her Sweet 16 coming up, and we're going to be talking about my dad, honoring him. And I know I'm going to cry then. So I probably should not wear any vegan makeup that will, just completely jump off. It's not even going to smear. It's just going to be beep, come right off my face. But, anyway, so the reason why I bring up time is because it seems like in life, especially now in the economy, just with everything going on in the world, and this is not to get political, because I am politically homeless, two wings, same bird. Very, disappointed in everything going on. And kind of like Jimmy Dore says, we need a people's party, but this isn't a political conversation. This is more or less about how fast time goes. I'll say this. It seems like there are a lot of people that spend every single day stressing and worrying and always treading water, never enjoying the day that they have. And, I happen to be one of those people. I'm a very busy person, like everybody else, right? I work very hard. I work a very hard manual labor job while learning on the job. So it's like tenfold, right? I'm physically trying to keep up with the work. I'm mentally trying to, keep everything upstairs, trying to learn as much as I can, absorb as much as I can. And then, then there's school at night. I have school 2 nights a week. I have 3 children. I have a house to maintain. I have a puppy and a cat and all the other little stray animals that I feed. And I'm just a busy person. But it seems to be a lot of people are busy. And I come to find myself sometimes thinking oh, I have so much going on. I have to do this. I have to do that. Whatever. And when I find myself, when I get into those modes, it's it almost, not to say oh, you're manifesting, right? Because that's a topic for another time, but it's definitely you're bringing that to life. I'm always so busy. Okay, then you have room for nothing other than working, sleeping, eating, working. Wash, rinse, repeat type of mentality. Same thing with oh, I'm so anxious. I'm so stressed out. Well, now you are stressed out. I have this thing where I start to have eyelid twitches. I'm completely shot. My nerves are shot, literally, in the literal sense. My mom used to say that all the time, goes, my nerves are shot with you kids, but it's true. My nerves are literally shot. I have adrenal fatigue. I have Hashimoto's thyroid issues, and I have obsessive compulsive disorder. I have anxiety, all this stuff, right? So I know I have these things, and I do my best to not have those things have me, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I don't want that to be my identity. Hi, my name's Brooke. I have OCD. Nice to meet you. I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? The OCD thing, I've come to terms with. That's who I am, right? But everything else, I don't want that to wrap me up. You know what I mean? I don't want that to engulf my life. But anyway, I say all that to say this. It seems like time's going so fast, and people are so preoccupied with treading water, with just paying bills, with just trying to, keep the water on, keep the roof over their head, keep the heat on, the electric on, all that. And it seems like you get stuck in these loops of being stressed out, not having money, not liking your job. Maybe you have family distress. Maybe you're, a single parent, whatever it is. Maybe you have an illness. And it seems like we forget how fast time goes. And it seems like we forget this day passes, we're never getting it back. September 5th, 2023, that's it. It's in the books, you know what I'm saying? It's literally in the books. There will never be another date like it again. So another thing too is that I was listening to this gentleman. His name's I think his name's Brian. He's really good looking, and he's on YouTube, Clear Value Tax, and he talks. He had an episode. I watched him on and off for the last couple since like 2020, and I'm just interested in the things he has to say. He's a very conscientious man. He's very intelligent, and I like him a lot, a lot. But anyway, he had a video a couple days ago about how people are just so burnt out. They're working 2, 3, 4 jobs. They're not making ends meet. They're barely making ends meet. And it seems like people are working harder, making more money, and their dollar's not going as far as it once had in the past. And people are stressed out, and rightfully so. And he played a couple reels from women that were talking about the job market, about how difficult things are. And it's distressing. It really is. It's so distressing because it's like, I'm on the road in the morning and I see all of these people. Like, it's so... There used to be a time when you can like be on the road super early and it's like, there's a little bit of movement, but now it's like bang, it's like tons of people, everyone's working, everyone's doing the best that they can. And, for the most part, whatever. But it seems like we all get lost in our day-to-day minutia and the things that we really want to do. Like, for example, me making videos, me doing a blog post, me really being, doing my little side gigs that I like to do. It seems like that goes by the wayside. Working out is a big one, I'll do good for like a week, 2 weeks, and then I get in my head and then I don't do it for 6 months, you know what I mean? Like, and it happens all the time, and you get stuck in these loops, and it's like, well, how do you break the cycle? How do you break the loop? Especially when you're in it, right? I think the best thing to do is to surrender to time, in my opinion. And what I mean by that is acknowledging time, acknowledging, how old you are, and what you hope to live to, and seeing where you are in that realm. Now, obviously, anything could happen at any time, literally. I lost my dad at a young age. He was young. He was only 57. I lost my brother-in-law at an even younger age. He was only 29. And, anything could happen. I know he woke up that day and did not think that he would die in a car accident. But he did. And... it makes me feel like, when you surrender to time, it's like you acknowledge the power that it has and why it's so important not to waste anything. Not to waste anything. Don't waste any time. Make your money, right? Do your chores, clean your house, handle your business, handle your family. But don't forget that you have a life to live, that you have your own hobbies, that you have your own interests, that you have your own dreams, hopes, goals, all that. And try to somehow... get it in your head, right? And this, I'm talking to myself too, that time is going to pass whether you do your goals or not, whether you attack your dreams or not, whether you work out or not. It's going to pass. It's unforgiving. It just keeps going. It just keeps going. It doesn't stop for nobody, for no one. So I guess in this video, I really just wanted to talk about like how heavy time is, like sand in the hourglass, so are days of our lives, for those of you who are into soap operas. My mom was in like the 90s, and I just remember, whatever, I'm getting lost in the weeds, but I just remember like the beginning of like Days of Our Lives. But I feel like the soap operas were like huge in the 90s too. I don't know, I feel like they're not as big now. I don't know, maybe they are. I know K-dramas are big, but anyway, again, end close. So yeah, I guess my biggest thing is just like a reminder, like, hey, time's passing you by, what are you waiting for? What are you doing to like do the things that you want to do, I hate being the person that's like, oh, I'm doing this, and then I stop because anxiety, because depression, because I have self-worth issues, because I feel like I'm not good enough, because, all these things that are never going to propel me because I'm the only one that can change it. You know what I mean? I can like my husband can't make me feel like better. You know what I'm saying? Like he can't make me feel like I'm worthy to do different things, to do videos, to do blog posts. And a big thing that I have, a big hang up that I have, acknowledging that time goes fast, is that I never put the like real time into my education. Being a young kid and getting diagnosed with the very aggressive OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, and tics and all that, it was really hard for me, and I stopped like trying to learn math, and I was put into 2 different schools I got kicked out of the first one. I was in the second one, and it was like a special education school, and it was like just to make sure they watched you to make sure you didn't get into a fight, that you took your medication. You know, it was like a big daycare for high schoolers. So being 36, being on the job site, having them throw fractions at me, I'm like, damn, like I don't, like there's some things I just don't know, you know? Even when I had my diaper service, you know, I had an accountant, so my accountant handled it. You know, I used to always joke around, I don't do the math, my accountant does, but now I'm like, wait, no, I'm in the trenches now. You gotta do the math, you know? But it's just like learning new things and trying to become better every day, anything, you know, with anything. And my biggest thing that I've been doing this summer, the fact that this summer is like gone is like insane to me. Like my head's still like in late May, early June. Like that's where my head's at. But I put my head down, I work, and I work so hard, and I look up and I'm like, what time just passed? You know, obviously I did my garden, I hung out with my kids when I wasn't working, and it's just this perpetual like feeling like there's never enough of it. So acknowledging that time is constant, it's fleeting, and you only have so much, kind of puts almost like a stoic spin on how you spend it. You know, it's like, there's actually a calendar that you can get. Oh, I forgot what it's called. I thought about getting it, but then I'm like, if I'm feeling anxious one day, I don't want to look at it and be like, oh, I only have this much time, you know, like, but it's kind of like, it's the days of your lives type of thing. I don't know what it is. I forgot. I have to look it up. I shouldn't have even brought it up if I don't remember it. I'll put it in the description. I'll look it up. It's like stoic calendar. You know what? Give me 1 second. Let me see. Okay, this is what it is. It is a calendar that shows you the amount of time you have lived and the amount of time you probably have left. So yeah, if you look at things like that and you see that, it gives you a different perspective of how you actually spend your time. You know, and I feel like one thing I wanted to mention before I close this video, is that a lot of people practice escapism. They practice escapism. And that can be in the form of like a cell phone addiction, YouTube, gaming. Not saying any of these things that you do in moderation is bad. I'm just saying in the sense of like escaping your reality, you know, going to bars, drinking, maybe some type of like pornography addiction, whatever. Like people have addictions, especially now. I mean, you got the phone right here. You know what I'm saying? You can do anything, right? And I feel like people have drug addiction, you know, there's so many addictions. A work addiction, workaholic, that's a real thing. I know guys that are total workaholics, leave work to go to work type of thing. And I feel like it's sad, you know, because they don't realize like they're working so hard right now for a future they don't know if they have, you know, like just to be completely honest. And it's not to say something catastrophic happens, but you know, anything could happen, you know, a divorce, something, right? You move somewhere else, you lose your job, something, right? So it's like, what's the balance of focusing on something in the now and appreciating your life at the same time when you're like, I gotta grind, I gotta save? And I don't know the answer to that. But what I do know is that when people address time, when they address how much time they have, or you know, how fast time goes, then it starts to become more sobering. It's a stoic ideology. You know, I only have so much time left. Let me enjoy what I can. So as someone that deals with Hashimoto's, I have hypothyroidism. It's very difficult for me to lose weight. And I'm going to a holistic doctor, taking all the supplements, all that. I need to work out. I need to do a lot of things like that. But sometimes I'm like, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. And I'm in a lot of debt with getting tomorrows because I'm always like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next week. I'll do it next month. Definitely next month. Definitely next year, January 1st, it's on, right? So what I'm working on is not doing that, not constantly taking from the future. And then when that day passes and I don't do it, now I'm like just like constantly feeling like, you know, come on, you know? So I'm just trying to do that day by day, every day, consistency, do something, right? And even if you're someone that, let's say you have a crazy schedule, let's say you work, you know, 1, 2, 3 jobs, you go to school, you have kids, or even if you don't have kids, you have pets, you have responsibilities, you're taking care of a parent, a friend, whatever, right? Try to do something for yourself, you know, try to do something that'll make you feel better, that'll help you further who you are, you know? And my thing is that I'm constantly like, so one thing I started to do is reading a dictionary. I've always loved writing, and I've always loved like short stories and like reading books. It has to be on things that interest me, because if it doesn't, I'm just like I'm not about it, you know? And I feel like everyone's like that. Everyone who reads is like that. So I've been trying to look at like different definitions. I know there's like apps out there that like people can look at. And because I usually just have this bad boy with me, I don't always have access to apps, but I feel like just learning something new every day. It sounds corny. It sounds so corny because I hate when people say it because I'm like, oh, it's so cliche, but it's true, man. It's true. And it's cliche for a reason because a lot of people say it because it works. So I'm just going to close this because I'm going to keep speaking in circles. Time is so fleeting, and I have to remind myself every single day, you know, especially when I get short with my kids or something, like, Brooke, stop. They're only little this long. They're only little for so long, you know? Don't take what some jackass at work said to you and bring it home and then put that on your family. Like, I have to work on that. And I'm a very flawed person. I have a lot of hang-ups and things that I have to get better at. And, you know, it's, you know, there's a lot. I have a lot of like baggage from my childhood and things like that. But one thing that I do have that I'm grateful for is my determination and my persistence. It's just like a beep, beep, you know, like a mosquito, constantly, you know, you hit it on one side, it comes on this side, you know, whatever, right? And it's like that until you kill it, pretty much. Fun fact, I actually don't kill mosquitoes. I flick them hard. The only thing I'll kill is a tick, like straight up gladiator style. Like I hate ticks, but everything else I can't kill. I just don't, I'm just whatever, right? But anyway, with that said, I hope you are all having a great day. If you have any if you have any of your own comments and criticisms, damn, this video is 22 minutes. And wow, can I have picked a worse angle? Probably not, or probably. Never underestimate my horrible angles. But all right, yeah, that really looks bad. Sorry, guys. Sorry. So I try not to look in the viewfinder. I'm like this. I'm like, because I have a 5 head. I look like Humpty Dumpty. But all right, anyway, moving forward. If you guys have your own like comments or like criticisms, maybe you want to share your own story, leave them in the comments below. A big reason why I started this channel was to be accountable for different things that I want to do in my life, and also to meet people, to meet human beings, not ChatGPT, not, you know, oh, I'm selling this, you know, buy this. Like, it's not I make my own money. You know what I mean? I just like having videos and meeting people. And I really loved doing my podcast. I love talking. I just love doing this. I love doing this. And I wish this is something I can do more. And hopefully, you know, I can move my schedule in a way that I'd be able to make more videos. But anyway, with that said, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. God bless you and your families, and I'll check you back again on the next video. Take care, friends.